So I wanted to address why I believe Josh and Jace, or Josh from England, did not get an MRI when he went into the emergency department. So I can explain this because I've worked in healthcare a very long time, and I had an injury very similar to the one that Josh has. I did receive surgery. I had surgery for it, but I did navigate my way through the healthcare system successfully, I guess, and I understand a lot more about it than I did in the beginning. So I feel like I can explain it a little bit better. So basically, I'll explain why he did not get an MRI, why he did get an MRI in the end, why it is not recommended. Basically, when you have a herniated disc or an annular tear where there is a tear on these, and what happens is this is your disc. They're kind of filled with like a jelly-like substance, and this blue stuff here, this is like the wall of it, I guess. There's an annular tear is just like a little tear in there because that's called the annula. When this tears, this gel substance can push out into here. This is where your spinal cord lives, and it can smush onto that and cause a lot of pain. That's very, very painful. It's the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. I don't wish it on anyone. I've heard it described two ways. One way is childbirth pain, and the other word I don't think I can say on here, but it makes you not want to live any longer is the other way, I guess people have called it, but it was really the worst pain in my life. So basically, Josh did not get an MRI when he went to the ER the first time because it's not the recommended course of action. When you have a pain of that quality, the recommended course of action is physical therapy because most of these injuries resolve on their own. Most of them do. You have to fail physical therapy in order for an MRI to be recommended. The usual course is 8 weeks, which I know sounds absolutely horrible. And in my case, it absolutely was. It was really terrible, and I did fail physical therapy at, I think it was about 6 weeks. At about 6 weeks, it ruptured or something happened, and I could no longer walk. Something happened. At that point was when I had the MRI and then referred to a neurosurgeon for surgery. That's the course of action, but you have to do the physical therapy first. He didn't get an MRI the first time because you're supposed to do physical therapy first. Why did he go back to the emergency department, and why did he get an MRI? My thought process is because they have a large social media following. I think that most people knew which hospital he was at. I think there was a picture of one of their social media guys. They had a sticker on his hat of the hospital guest sticker. So it was well known which hospital he was at. And the comments on that post were filling up with people that were very angry that he didn't get an MRI, he didn't get more testing done. And I believe that the hospital probably said, eat this, eat the cost of this MRI. People are getting angry. Don't anger the natives. Josh and Jace are beloved social media personalities, and we want answers. We want to know what's wrong with us. We want to know. But really, is it important in the actual treatment? It is not actually important in the treatment for the first 8 weeks. Okay? As far as healthcare economics goes, when you're talking about people getting an MRI too early, say everybody gets an MRI at week 1. And then they go through their recommended course of physical therapy. And most people, as they do, recover within that time frame. You've just wasted how much money on MRIs? That's why he didn't get an MRI when he first went into the hospital, and that's why he got an MRI the second time. Why it's not recommended the first time. And it's not anything, it's not a doctor out to get you, not wanting to give you the answers or being negligent, or it's not that. It is not that. It is the recommended course of action is to do the physical therapy first, because most resolve. I think most physicians will tell you, we're pretty sure that this is what's going on. My primary care physician said, I am pretty sure that this is what you have going on. I've seen this a million times before. And they do. They've seen this a million times before. They've had a lot of other patients that this has happened to. They're well versed. They know. So if you are interested in more of this content, and just ask for it or ask me questions, I'm happy to provide the knowledge I've received. Anyhow, take care of yourself, and I'll see you later.